Hello there, and welcome to the Latte-sponsored virtual tools to enhance your training experience. My name is Jessica, and in a minute you'll meet Kiirsa as well. And we are excited to come before you and present you with this information. So Latte is an organization made of trainers, lots of people in the lab animal industry, and our purpose is to exchange and share information, wisdom, and experience. And so some of those things we plan to share with you on today. So I'll go first. My name is Jessica Stukes. I have an educational background, a Bachelors of Science in Laboratory Animal Science from North Carolina A&T State University. And I am currently the Education and Training Manager for the Division of Laboratory Animal Resources at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina. I have been in the industry over 20 years with a variety of experiences, a variety of species, and I'm happy to now be in a place where I can help others learn and train effectively. Kiirsa?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kiirsa Pokryfke, and I am the Managing Director of the Training Corps at the University of Michigan. I work in the Unit for Laboratory Animal Medicine. I've been in laboratory animal science for over 20 years now, and in training for about 18 of those. And I'm excited to be part of Latte and be part of Labroots to provide this presentation today.
Awesome. So our goal for this workshop is to make sure that our students, which they're you right now, we'll explore a variety of training tools which can be utilized to train trainees at your prospective organizations virtually when face-to-face training cannot be achieved. We clearly are in a different time right now with COVID-19, and so some of these tools can be incorporated into those times now. These are also some things that you can use for a mixture of in-person and virtual learning opportunities. For our learning objectives, we want to make sure that we demonstrate the use of various software applications, and the purpose is to hopefully, in keeping with the 3 R's, to reduce the use of live animals for training and to increase learner engagement, as well as to identify some ways in which these software applications can be used to improve training in a lab setting. So as we're going through, as we're talking, you can just let your mind wander and explore and run wild with all the endless possibilities in the ways that this information can be used.
Welcome again to this presentation, and I'm excited to have you all here too. For our introduction today, we are going to go through a bunch of platforms and software applications that can be utilized to maintain the 3 R's as a critical component in training and setting up effective training. So training in a virtual setting easily allows for reduction of animal use, refinement of techniques, as well as replacing animals by utilizing other training tools instead of live animals. Training involves 3 basic components: content, connection, and application. While the content varies, connecting with the students based on their individual learning styles and demonstrating how to apply the skills virtually continues to be a challenge. Recently, learning challenges have exacerbated by the emergence of COVID-19. COVID-19 has motivated all of us to think outside the box and create virtual training tools in order to provide training without sacrificing quality while establishing a method that employs the 3 R's. This presentation will delve into various virtual training tools that can assist training coordinators and other laboratory science professionals to administer training to a varied audience, while also providing an effective way for an audience to learn laboratory animal science topics. So some of those topics may include student engagement and ownership and self-paced learning. So some students may find it easier to learn by themselves and self-paced. Personnel safety, it enhances that by providing students with the opportunity to learn from home instead of going into the work environment. And effective use of time. No, there's no travel required when you're training virtually, and class times may be shortened because of virtual training. And there's also a component of better time management. So keep that in mind when you're training your students. It may be important for scheduling or working through your training. You may be able to shorten those times and create a better schedule for training. And there's also opportunities for learning. So there are various opportunities with all the training tools that we'll be presenting today, such as videos, pictures, discussions, various scenarios and role plays that you can provide virtually. And then this also enhances all of the learners' capability to engage by touching on all of those learning styles of each student in class. So a workshop outline today, we're going to go through various virtual training topics and tools. And as you can see, there are a few of them we're going to review today. I'm going to go over the first few, and then Jessica will take over later on and to go through some additional topics. Google Documents. Google Documents are an interactive shared document system and can be incorporated into your training. Students are able to move pictures, words, or answer questions within the same document in real time. Students can visualize other students' actions within the document in real time as well. Google Documents include the following options. We have Word documents, we can use Excel, we have Google Forms that you can utilize as well. And we found that Google Forms could be used for virtual escape rooms. So if you want to create a fun activity for your students, you can use a Google Form to create an escape room, and can be designed in Google Forms to enhance learning of a topic. And today, I'm going to demonstrate the use of a Google document that we utilize in class for our RAT users. And we're going to show the relationship between rats and the components of an inside of a rat cage and how students interact with this document. So here's our application of a Google document in a virtual training class. So using Google Documents in this activity, the student will find the arrow in the picture that corresponds with the student number. Then they will drag the correct cage component from the class toolbox at the top to the answer box. This is how we run virtual training for animal handling restraint workshops. This minimizes animal use and refines the way we train handling a restraint. When students do come to handling restraint class, they already have an opportunity to provide the animals with a safer environment to learn, because they understand the components of a cage, and they also understand the components of handling restraining an animal appropriately. So we can maintain animal welfare throughout the training period. Our next component that we're going to talk about today of virtual training is utilizing Zoom and WEBEX. So Zoom and WEBEX are a cloud-based video and audio conferencing software that allows coworkers, friends, and classes to collaborate in real time. Additional features of Zoom and WEBEX include chat, break rooms, and file sharing. These features can enhance any training class. The chat feature allows for students to ask the trainer questions throughout the meeting, and for the instructor and students to share links. Break rooms can be utilized to divide a large training audience into smaller, more manageable groups. Smaller groups provide an opportunity for everyone to participate in their own learning by answering questions and participating in smaller group discussions. File sharing allows for the instructor to share important files with the audience and can enhance the learning experience. Polling options are also available, and questions can be launched at any time during a Zoom or a WebEx meeting. Polling questions allow students to answer questions in real time, and answers are shared with the group to further the discussion. Zoom and WebEx also have the capability for the instructor to enable students to control their screen. In some learning experiences, this may be very important. Then application number 2, this on the left, you will see that the polling option in Zoom is there's a couple questions that are asked to the students, and the students will click their answer, and then you can share those results with the students. As well as to your right, you have the opportunity to allow others to take control of your screen to place answers in an answer box or move pictures around if they need to, or watch a video. So there are various opportunities for folks to utilize Zoom and WebEx in their training, as well as a trainer to increase learner engagement with, setting up Zoom polls either ahead of time or during the class. If you find there's a good discussion point, you can actually set up a Zoom poll right in real time. And I also wanted to mention that Zoom and WebEx are frequently available in all situations. So I know University of Michigan, we did not have Zoom before March happened. So when March happened, we were able to then have Zoom, and we can do a whole bunch of fun stuff in Zoom. So we're really excited about using Zoom in our training, and we do so frequently. Poll Everywhere. Poll Everywhere is software that utilizes live audience feedback to answer questions, both free text and multiple choice. In addition, Poll Everywhere can be configured for students to participate in creating word clouds to enhance learning experiences. A free limited access version, as well as more enhanced paid subscriptions, are available for Poll Everywhere. This is an example of one of the Poll Everywhere questions that we have activated for one of our student audiences. And this is a ranking tool. So you can use Poll Everywhere for many different situations and variety of other types of questions. So multiple choice questions and free text box. So this can be utilized in a big, large audience or a smaller audience. And like I said, this is a free application, so it's fairly easy to use and set up. And then you can ask your questions in real time for your students in your class. And this can be through a mobile device or through your desktop. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jessica.
All right, thank you, Kiirsa. So next up is a web-based product called SLIDO. So SLIDO is a web-based application that allows students to participate also in real-time polls, in question and answer sessions, as well as quizzes. So students can join the SLIDO meeting via a link or a QR code. And one of the cool things about SLIDO is that you can create your own hashtag in order for your students to join. And they can also participate using their mobile phone. So this can be a tool used for small groups or very large groups. I've used it with a Zoom training session of 45 attendees. It also has presentation and results slides that can be embedded or integrated into other programs and software like Microsoft PowerPoint and Teams, as well as Google Meet and Slides. So once you download the system, you won't have to toggle back and forth from the Slido web browser to Microsoft PowerPoint. The program will integrate into PowerPoint's presenter view. And so this is a paid service, but there is a basic account that is free with limitations, of course, that limits the maximum number of participants as well as the maximum number of polls that you can have per event. So we're going to take a look at an example of one of those results. So in the presentation that we did initially, we asked our icebreaker question, which was, where are you joining us from? You can see in the left-hand side of the screen, it says to join, you can go to the website, and that was our specially designed hashtag, which was LaTeX. And participants were able to join from their cell phones, and then when this first question was presented, they were putting in their answers. So this is the result word cloud of people participating and where they were participating from. So this could be you asking a question about anything and getting everybody's feedback. Now, one of the things about Slido, I will tell you, is that when you sign in initially as a participant, you're asked for your name. So if you are using this tool in a smaller group, you can generate reports after the fact if you're interested in the answers of students specifically in case you want to follow up with them accordingly. Okay. The next tool we're going to talk about is called THINGLINK. So THINGLINK is what I like to call a discovery-themed interactive tool that's used to engage students by offering information pop-ups on files or images and videos that you upload. Now, those images can be still or they can be 360. Pop-ups are expanded to reveal text, they can reveal images, videos, or links. And THINGLINK can be shared via a link or an embedded code. So if you have a hosting site or if you have a website, then you can just embed the code there and people can still participate in your THINGLINK. There is a free education and teacher account with an unlimited number of images and videos you can upload and 1,000 views per year. So those viewing do not have to have any type of account. Only the person creating has to have an account, and that account can be free. So we're going to take a look at a THINGLINK that we've set up here. This is a picture of an animal room. And as you can see, that there are yellow buttons in the real, if you were viewing this on a browser, those buttons would kind of be pulsating a bit, but the buttons represent a different type of file. So there are, to the far right, there is a plus sign, and when you hover over it, it will expand to this text box that you see here. So you can use this if you are trying to get the student to receive a large amount of information or allow them to discover information within a picture or within a video. So there are, like I mentioned, you can use text. You can also use video. So that bottom left play button would open another window that's a video. There also, in that top left, there's a picture icon. And these icons can be changed. The color can be changed to your liking. And that will open another window that pops out a picture to offer a little more detail or content to what the teacher wants to be obtained at that moment. Okay. So the next tool is called PADLET. Now, some of these tools, I will tell you that they offer you some of the same capabilities, but it's always good to have options. So PADLET is a software, it's pretty much like a web-based Post-it note. It allows students to offer free text responses on a virtual memo board. Posts can be arranged in a variety of ways to categorize or to connect responses. They can be placed on a timeline if you're asking students to indicate what happened in a certain place. You can also upload your own picture background and have them almost do in reverse of the last tool we talked about, where you post a picture and then you ask them to put radio points for what's happening in certain places. Padlets can be shared again via links, QR codes embedded. They can be used on Google Classroom, or they can be exported as a JPEG or a PDF. There are a number of security permissions that will allow only certain people that have the link to view, as well as if you decide to require a password, you can do that as well. And this one is free to use. So an example of Padlet. Here we have a training session. This is again the one that we presented during National ALAS, where we ask people to go in and input responses. And so these responses can be anonymous, or people have the freedom to put their name if they like. One of the other ways that I've experienced Padlet is I was taking a train-the-trainer class, and before class, the instructor wanted us all to get to know each other. So she asked us to go to her Padlet and to include a picture in our bio. So it was a way for us to interact and get to know each other before we even got into class. And of course, that was class pre-COVID. The next tool that I'm going to talk about briefly here is Articulate Storyline. So there are a number of software that are used to design and publish interactive learning courses, and Articulate Storyline is the one that I prefer. There's also Adobe Captivate, and there are some resources online that give you a comparison between the two. They're very, very similar. And so the design interfacing of Articulate Storyline is very similar to PowerPoint, which is another reason why I like it, because you can design your online training module in PowerPoint and then import it into Storyline. And it will maintain background, maintain font, maintain all those things. And then in Storyline, you would just add the interactive pieces of it. If you wanted a talking head, or if you wanted to add some quizzing elements, you could do that. And so courses can be published from Storyline in a variety of ways. You can publish it into a learning management system, an LMS, or you can use web distribution or even video file as an MP4. So Articulate Storyline is a part of a larger suite of products called Articulate 360, which includes Storyline, Rise, Studio, Review, and Peak. And I'll just throw a plug out there for Peak, because Peak is the tool you can use to screen record. And it's been extremely helpful for me trying to show some students how to navigate our safety website or to navigate through some of our learning management systems. So I can just record things and share with them how to do that. They can actually see me doing it through my screen. This is a subscription-based product, and it is $499 for one user per year. But it is well worth it. So this is one of the examples of a storyline produced. This is on their website, and they have a variety of them in the community, and you can find them at community.articulate.com. And this is one that someone designed. It's about 8th grade history, I believe. But it's a Jeopardy game, and it is completely interactive. So you would click on arithmetic for 100, and it would give you a question and you would answer. So this is another way that you can design interactive training within Storyline. I'm going to turn it back over to Kiirsa.
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that. So our next tool that we're going to be utilizing today is called QUALTRICS. So QUALTRICS is a software application that allows organizations to collect feedback data and analytic reports in order to improve processes or training. Oftentimes in training, we want to evaluate our training and how well it is received and how effective it is. QUALTRICS can be a way to do this. In addition, it is important to consider having various evaluation points throughout training. QUALTRICS can also help collect data related to level 1 to level 4 training evaluations, utilizing the Kirkpatrick's training evaluation models. At University of Michigan, we use QUALTRICS for a variety of purposes. We use QUALTRICS for pre-test before training. We use QUALTRICS for post-test and trainer evaluations. And we also utilize QUALTRICS for training request forms, and in which you could set quotas. So if you only want 4 people in a training session, once that four people have signed up for that training, that option goes away. So QUALTRICS has a variety of opportunities to be utilized in training. So this is an example I'm showing you here, is a post-test provided to students following a class about mouse handling and restraint. The results from this post-test can be compared to the pre-test with the same questions, and I can test the effectiveness of this training based on the pre- and post-test questions. So this is very helpful when I'm reviewing an effectiveness of training and training applications and data. I can utilize this data from pre-test, post-test, evaluation of training, as well as I manage a group of 9, so I can manage the trainers by pulling their evaluation data from classes as well. This is very helpful in a variety of aspects for training purposes, and I really am excited and get excited about using Qualtrics in the application of training. Now, it is important to know that in Qualtrics, the application is a very, very good help desk. So oftentimes in the past, when I've used Qualtrics, there have been a variety of things we wanted to do in Qualtrics. Now, instead of me just fumbling around Qualtrics and trying to figure it out, I will ask the help desk and they will get back to me immediately. So they are very, very helpful. And even some things that they couldn't perform in the application, they actually changed their application in order for us to be able to perform that thing that we wanted to do that they couldn't do previously. So that was very helpful, and their customer service is fantastic. So if you're going to use evaluation tool, Qualtrics is one of the evaluation tools I would definitely take a look at. In review, here's our review of our objectives. We demonstrated the use of various software applications in order to reduce the use of live animals for training and increase learner engagement, and identify ways in which software applications can be used to improve training in laboratory settings. So there are many ways to engage your audience while designing training virtually. The applications listed here are just some of the ways in which this can be achieved. I would like to challenge you to design training utilize 1 or 2 of these applications. Evaluate the effectiveness of your training approach post-training and compare your results to previous training on the same subject to see what your results are. It may be exciting to see what kind of results you get from instituting some virtual training options like we've offered here. And please tell us your results. If you find out that this worked really well for you, please let us know. Or if you have another application that you utilize that we didn't cover here, please let us know how it works and how well it works and how it works. That would be great. Thank you very much.